Hello everyone, in this video I'll be giving you a thief build guide for in Dragon's Dogma 2. Now, you're able to take down a dragon with this with relative ease. Now, I think the thief is the strongest class in this game, so I'm going to show you what makes this class so powerful. So, I'm using the skills here. I use Cutting Wind as, this is on one of my, the X button here. So I find this is great for closing the gaps. You sprint forwards. What's also nice about this is you can actually use it as a dodge. It's a further range than your dodge that you get from pressing the dodge button there. So Cutting Wind is actually quite a powerful attack to close distance, but also to get away. I think that the best skill here is Skull Splitter. So as you can see there, you do a big spinning attack. This will hit creatures that are flying up. So if you're fighting harpies, you can get them with this. And it deals a lot of damage to bosses, because I think it glitches out in certain areas of bosses and does like double hits on them. So you can do tons of damage. When you're fighting dragons, you can do this at their chest or any of the weak spots, and you're going to pretty much shred them down very quickly. So this is the most effective thief skill, and you should always have this equipped. Next, we got Masterful Kill. So I think that this is great. This is basically a parry. Now, if you're someone that hates parries, I would at least give this a shot, because the parry window on this is much larger than in games like Dark Souls or Elden Ring. So you have a great chance of getting a parry with this, and you can do this in the midair once you get it upgraded to the Masterful Kill. So I think that that's actually one of the best skills that the thief gets. It's very effective at taking down enemies. So I think that this is probably one of the most underrated thief skills, but I'm going to give you an option if you don't like to parry as well. But alongside that, we have the Draw and Quarter. This is also called Gut and Run if you're earlier in the game. This is your main damage dealer against bosses. So you want to go up to their weak spot. As you can see there, they're doing the attack against a Cyclops' eye. This is mostly going to be the head for most enemies. So if it's fighting a griffin, you're going to go for the head. If you're fighting a dragon, you're going to go for the head. This deals a great amount of damage, and it has a cinematic angle that it closes in while you stab them in the face. So Draw and Quarter or Gut and Run are really effective. I do think that Skull Splitter does a bit more damage, but what's nice about Skull Splitter, especially against dragons, is you can end up on top of their backs by using this, and then you can just run over and use Draw and Quarter. I also like to grab them and stab as much as I can until my stamina bar is down as small as possible, and then use Draw and Quarter. If you don't want your stamina to drop, be mindful of where you can do it before your stamina will drop down to minimum, and then you can let go of the enemy at that point. But it's a very effective skill. I think it's one of the best. For other core skills, you can go, the Swift Staff is kind of the bread and butter of staying alive, so you can dodge forwards or backwards. I'd be using Twin Fangs as much as you can if you're on top of an enemy. It can deal a great amount of damage, but Carve is kind of your main attack while on the ground. Use these a lot to make your stamina build back up, and very useful. So another special thing that you want to go with is the Augments. So I think that Verve and augmenting our strength to deal more damage is kind of an essential, especially as a thief, as more so the burst damage class in this game. So go with that. Subtlety, decrease the likelihood of being targeted by foes. I think that just, it's gained through the, so this one you gain from being a warrior, this one you gain from being a thief. So decrease the likelihood of being attacked, super useful, because you can run around behind, you can stab them in the back, you can climb up without really any worry. So this is kind of a needed one for the thief. Even though the thief can kind of hold its own, I recommend having that. Vigor reduces the stamina consumed when clinging to or pinning down foes. So this one's from the warrior or the fighter, and this one's kind of useful as well. So whenever you're clinging to an enemy, you want to reduce the stamina. Obviously, that just makes total sense, because you're going to be climbing a lot as a thief. Vitality, increasing maximum health. It's self-explanatory. More health, the better. And then gratification, slightly restores health when you delivered a killing blow to a foe. As a thief, you do get a lot of these, especially if you're using like the easy kill parry attack. You're going to get a lot of quick attacks, especially if you're in a group of a ton of enemies. You can just keep spamming the parry attack, and you're going to continually heal as you get your parries off on foes. So that's great. I also think Endurance is fantastic. This comes from the Archer. Now, this is going to increase your overall maximum stamina, which, again, you're using it often as a thief, climbing on and grappling. So definitely have this one equipped. I think those are the best augments and the best skills there, but in terms of gear, you want to go with, honestly, the best gear you can find. With Dragon's Dogma 2, there's not a whole lot of gear, so getting into the most optimal gear, it's just the best that you can find. So there's some great thief-only gear selections that you can get later on in the game. Go for them. If you see a blue number, grab it. If it's red, it means it's weaker, so don't use it. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's going to be a lot of different options for items, but I think that reducing the chance of sleep is super useful because falling asleep sucks in this game. So I like using that ring, and then you can also go with a boost to strength ring. I think that is another great option. Also, slightly boosting max health is another great choice. So you can go with any of those. They're going to be quite effective. But your general strategy when fighting a boss is to use your skull splitter attack to attack into its chest wherever possible. And with these, there's lots of weak spots. Oh, I accidentally took that guy out. No one said anything. Interesting. I'm going to loot him. Nope. Not going to do that. But you want to go for the weak spots with this attack here, the skull splitter. And then when you can climb up on top of them, you're going to want to use your draw and quarter or gut and run attack. Typically on their weak spots. It's going to be the best way about doing that. So that is my Thief build guide for in Dragon's Dogma 2. The Thief is, I think, the best class. Spam Skull Splitter, use Cutting Wind. Like you're going to see here, this actually has quite a large reach. So you can use that to get away from enemies if you need to, because this dash is good, but it stops you. Whereas with this, you can run full on ahead. So, very effective. And that is it for Dragon's Dogma 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.